Welcome to Fantastic Fiber Friday. I've got my Fantastic Fiber Friday changed a little bit from what I was originally going to do. I was going to do a carding or combing demonstration with the Gotland, and I'm going to show you why I couldn't do that. As you can see, I have my wool combs out and my carders out, and I'm going to show you this fleece. This fleece was sent to me washed, and they were pretty harsh on it, I think. There's a lot of shortcuts and a lot of shorter and longer areas, and a couple areas where it's still nice. Now this is one of the nicer locks, but what I found when I was trying to card it is that they were so rough with this fleece. Much of it is felted. There's a lot of felted areas. It's very soft, I will say that. This fleece is incredibly soft, but very hard to work with. Like this area here is just totally felted. I can't even pull it apart. So when I tried to find some pieces to go ahead and put on my, because I noticed there were short bits in here, and carding, you can put short bits and long bits together with carding. That's why the bats come out so interesting here at the Fiber My Beam, because I can put the shorter pulled silk with the longer wool and it comes out fine. However, when I tried putting this on my carders, it just became a mess. So I figured, well, I'll try my combs. And it was hard for me to find enough usable stuff that didn't just come out as waste in back of the combs, as you can see, because it had been handled so roughly. This is something that I figured I would go ahead and talk about that you don't want in a washed fleece. I was really disappointed with this, even though it's such a beautiful color and it has such a nice handle. But as you can see, it's just felted through and through. You got little short bits and the long bits and the felting, and it just doesn't make it quite as usable a fleece as it should be. And it's really a shame, because it is a beautiful Gotland fleece, or it was. This is what I was able to get out of it, and I did spin up. Let me see if I can find the end. There it is. And because of the way it was washed, it kind of come out lumpy and bumpy, but I like how hairy it is. And it's still retaining that nice, a pretty nice color and a pretty even spin, even though it's like trying to take a sow's ear and make a golden purse out of it. So I don't know if I'm going to be messing with the rest of this too much, but I just wanted to show you what you don't want when you wash a fleece, and I figured this would be a good example of that. So Gotland is very soft, the handle's really nice, and if it's washed properly, I did not wash this fleece, it was sent to me washed. If it's washed properly, you would have some beautiful, beautiful yarn. Now, I'm going to go on to what I've been working on all week, because I didn't bother bringing my Color Affection shawl up because I've done so little on it, it's almost embarrassing. I've been dyeing yarn, and I know I told you before I was dyeing yarn for Darn Good Yarn, but I'm also dyeing yarn for the Fiber My Beam, and I'm going to show you what I did this week. We have banana fiber yarn, and I know some of you probably tried banana fiber yarn before and I found some to be very coarse and hard on the hands. This stuff, however, is so soft and has such a sheen. It's beautiful. So here's some of the colorways that I dyed up. A nice plum and Copenhagen blue, periwinkle looking colorway. I've got some tangerine with some spring green and violet, which I think turned out really nice. I love how these skeins come out. And I have a light blue, a sky blue, a light green, and yellow colorway that I just love how these turned out. And as you can see, even hanged like this, it's very drapey. It would make a wonderful shawl or a cowl, or just something that you want as, what's the word I'm looking for? Accessory. Thank you. These would make wonderful accessories. It's beautiful yarn. It's got a nice soft handle, and I think you'd really enjoy knitting or crocheting with it. Now onto some pulled silk. And because our Gaia colorway is so popular, I decided to go ahead and do up a Gaia colorway yarn. So we have our dark brown, we have our green, and that turquoisey blue. And that turned out just lovely. And it does come out a little bit lighter on the pulled silk because the silk does have a sheen and it lightens the color a little bit. But I still love the way this turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. And I've got two new colorways to show you. This one's kind of a rich red and a light violet with a darker dusky blue. And I really like the way this turned out. I know I don't use red a whole lot, and I really should use it a lot more because it does give it that little pop. And turned out quite nice. And the last colorway would almost remind you of Gaia, but it's not Gaia. This kind of beigey tan color, it's almost like a linen color. And a spring green. And a darker blue. And I think they just turned out wonderfully, and I hope you guys enjoy them in the store. And that is really all we have for this week, because I have been running around the dye pots like a crazy person. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.